Today's episode is brought to you by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Emma Stein with today's Free Press Voice Briefing. It's Friday, July 15th, 2022. Reverend W.J. Rideout filed a lawsuit on Thursday claiming his First Amendment rights were violated and he was wrongfully arrested in the summer of 2020. The lawsuit names Shelby Township, its police chief, and the Macomb County prosecutor, among others. He was arrested on a warrant on July 22nd after police say he disobeyed their commands and walked into the street during a protest 2 days earlier. At around the same time, Rideout called for the police chief to be fired after he tweeted in support of police brutality. Rideout says his arrest was a retaliation for speaking out against the chief.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. Despite appearances, no one is building the Great Wall of Westland along the shores of Nankin Lake. Those long, huge synthetic bags currently lining the shore, stacked up to 20 feet high, are filled with sediments, weeds, and muck being dredged out of the impoundment lake on the middle branch of the Rouge River. It's an effort to transform the area from a poor habitat choked with invasive species to a better water body for fish and recreation. Nankin Lake was created by a hydro dam built by Henry Ford to power his growing auto industry in the 1920s. It has generations of sediment built up behind it, slowing the river to a trickle, even allowing visitors to walk on the lake at times in the summer. The federally funded project to remove tens of thousands of cubic yards of sediment, invasive species, and more will leave a lake that includes deeper water habitat for fish and boat launch for paddling and kayaking. It's one of dozens of Great Lakes Restoration Initiative projects to address long-standing areas of environmental concern.
2 people were fatally shot and another was critically injured in the Lafayette Park neighborhood on Thursday. The victims were parked in a vehicle when they were shot, and about a dozen bullet holes can be seen on the car. Detroit Police Chief James White called the shooting a heinous crime. City Council President Mary Sheffield said the shooting is heartbreaking and, quote, "The persistent issue of gun violence that's permeating our city is robbing families of their loved ones and creating fear within our own community. Detroiters deserve to enjoy every inch of this city without fear of violence."
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department. On the first day of NHL free agency, the Detroit Red Wings certainly made a big splash, signing 5 players: Andrew Kopp, Ben Sherratt, Dominic Kubalik, Ali Mott, and David Perron. On Thursday, Red Wings legend and general manager Steve Yzerman shared his thinking behind all the acquisitions.
With several expiring contracts, roster spots open, available, needs to be addressed, and we felt, we addressed, positionally some needs. We needed simply to add players to obviously fill out a roster, but needs an important need at center, and Andrew Kopp, right-hand shot forward, in David Perron, and kind of a pleasant surprise in what we consider, a scoring winger in Dominic, adding some defensemen that we think will help us, our special teams, in particular our penalty killing, and then defensively 5-on-5 as well. So these are all areas we talked about in this spring, that areas we needed to improve upon. And like I said, with some of our contracts expiring and holes in our roster, we're in a position to bring in some new faces and players we think address some of these needs.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.